Have you ever had one of those moments where your brain goes from like 0 to worst case scenario in about 3 seconds flat? Welcome back to Jamaica Made Me Do It. I'm Christy, and this is the story of when two strange men stopped me on an isolated road in super rural, uninhabited Jamaica. I was driving alone on a narrow country road from Middle Quarters and on my way to Silo in St. Elizabeth. There were no other vehicles in sight. I don't recall any houses, no stores, no people, just miles and miles of bush and isolated road. This is not the exact location, but it pretty much felt just as obscure and disconnected from society as this road actually looks. For a good portion of the drive, I didn't really see any other signs of life. And then at some point, I noticed in my rear view a vehicle gaining on me from behind. So knowing Jamaican drivers, I figured they just wanted to pass me. So I moved over as close to the side as I could on this little narrow road. And instead of passing me and continuing on its way, the car goes in front of me, stops sideways like at an angle on the road right in front of me, blocking the road completely. So there was no way to go around them and no easy way to turn around and like speed off the other way. Then both doors on that car opened. Two dudes get out. I didn't recognize either one of them, and they start walking towards my car. And I remember thinking, well, this could go very wrong very quickly. So I shoved my purse under the front seat, and then I took both of my cell phones and shoved them down my shirt. Like as if that would matter when they start dismembering my body. People have been robbed and killed for less, I'm sure. And I was scared out of my mind. I was terrified. You know those stories you hear about people blocking roads with like fallen trees and debris, and then they hide in the bush so that they can jump out and rob and murder you? Yeah, that. And the scary part wasn't only what might happen, it was actually realizing that if something did happen, absolutely nobody from the outside world had a clue where I was. There would be no search party, there would be nobody retracing my route or my steps, and there certainly would be no first 48 hours. I would have simply vanished into a very large green dot on a map in the middle of the Caribbean Sea. Thankfully, none of that happened, because here we sit on YouTube recounting my near-death experience. As it turns out, these two men were related to the woman I was on my way to visit. She had told them that I would be coming through. And they only recognized my car because, let's be honest, I didn't see any other white ladies driving around those parts. And again, untinted windows. And one of the guys simply wanted to hitch a ride with me the rest of the way so that the other guy didn't have to go all the way. In Jamaica, people hitch rides with strangers all the time, I think. Like, I've done it. Perfectly normal, I guess. Unless you happen to be the stranger and people are blocking the road to get with you. You know, I was able to laugh about this incident after the fact, mostly because my imagination had written an entire Dateline episode before the poor guy even reached my car. But the experience stayed with me because of one simple realization. Nobody knew where I was at that point. We spend so much of our lives believing that where we are, what we're doing, what we're worried about, what food we're eating is somehow front page news or Instagrammable, like it's so important. But in the grand scheme, it's not. The day those two men stopped me on that lonely road, it felt like the biggest, scariest moment of my life up until that point. But to everyone else in the rest of the world, it was just another Tuesday. Here's another example of our insignificance on this planet. I used to drive roughly 20 minutes almost every evening just to watch the sunset into the sea and capture like a 60-second time-lapse video. It would take 2 hours to capture a 60-second video. And those sunsets meant everything to me. And yet, most people never saw them. I've wandered tiny Jamaican communities that most tourists never see. I've had conversations that changed the way I look at life altogether. Most of those moments exist only in my memory, only right here. And I think that's actually kind of beautiful. It's strangely freeing to realize that we're all just tiny dots moving around this enormous planet, crashing into each other, but not really noticing. And nobody's watching us nearly as much as we think they are, which is kind of funny because I'm here performing on YouTube. But this just means to me, go take the trip. Drive the back roads and the scenic routes. Waste time watching the sunset. Definitely start the YouTube channel. Write the book. Live the weird little life that matters to you, because even if the rest of the world hardly notices at all, you will remember. I keep saying it in every single video. Here I am 10 years later telling this story. It's because those stories mattered in my mind and they mattered to me. And now somehow they're mattering to you because you're here watching, right? And so maybe that's enough. Now I'm going to turn it over to my viewers, just like I always do. I would love to ask you, have you ever had one of those moments when you suddenly realize just how small and insignificant you are in this giant world? Until next time, I am Christy. This is Jamaica Made Me Do It. And we will see you in the next episode. I would love if you would like this video and subscribe to my channel and leave a comment below because I love the comments. I live for comments. Anyways, I will see you in the next episode. Thanks for watching.